The Americans must leave Afghanistan. That is what these demonstrators are demanding. Protests such as this one in Jalalabad are becoming ever more frequent across the country, as more and more civilians are mistakenly killed in U.S. airstrikes and raids.
We demand the withdrawal of the wild and brutal invaders from our country. The foreign invaders are responsible for the insecurity in the country. We condemn them for continuing to kill innocent civilians.
Over 2,000 were killed last year, a 40% increase compared to 2007. The United Nations figures show more than 800 were killed by Afghan and international forces. There is a growing concern that the warring sides are disregarding civilians when they attack what they see as legitimate targets. And now, the International Committee of the Red Cross is warning that with the arrival of more U.S. troops, it could make things worse for civilians.
Everybody has a responsibility in this situation, and even more so now, where there is a risk of an escalation in fighting. Already we see that fighting is expanding. The areas are getting more insecure.
To a certain extent, Kabul is no longer safe, even though on the surface it may not seem that way. Walking next to government buildings is quite dangerous. That is the Justice Ministry, one of 3 buildings which were simultaneously attacked by the Taliban a few weeks ago. Civilians were not the targets, but many were killed. Vendors no longer set up shop along the sidewalks next to such buildings, which are Taliban targets. The checkpoints and armed guards do little to ensure security, and public faith in the authorities is waning.
You can see they put cement blocks around government buildings. This affects our psychology. How can they protect the poor people if they can't even protect themselves?
The threat is expected to increase over the coming months. The U.S. sending thousands of more troops. The Taliban warning they will confront them. This makes less and less areas safe for civilians who have been the ones paying the price of a seemingly unending conflict. Zeina, Khodr, Jazeera, Kabul.